Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about our superheroes. We're talking Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And we're talking about them right now because Justice League is coming around the corner, right? Now, the way how Zack Snyder brilliantly did this, as we said before, is he followed the order that they came out in the comics back in the day. So Superman came out in 1938, Batman in 1940, Wonder Woman in 1941. Okay? And what is really awesome about this is that you saw Superman come out in Man of Steel, and of course he epitomized hope. Batman came out in Batman v Superman, and he epitomizes justice through fear. That is fear in the hearts of criminals. Okay, Batman took his fear of bats and he transferred it onto criminals so that they fear him as he feared bats. And of course Wonder Woman is justice through love. She is compassionate. She is caring. We've seen that in her movie. Yet at the same time, she will kill your ass if she thinks you're a threat to mankind. So, you know, Ludendorff got the axe. I mean, she didn't even hesitate. She killed his ass like if it was nothing. She was on a mission. She was blowing through soldiers, went up into that tower, and she just, she dispatched of Ludendorff. And she was like, in the name of Hippolyta and the Amazons, I free this world of you. She just slashes through him, you know what I'm saying? Because Wonder Woman is the most likely of this trinity you see here, front and center, to kill. That's right. She will kill you faster than Batman or Superman will. Batman likes to scare the crap out of you if you're a criminal. And Superman, his last option is to kill. He does not like killing at all. You saw when he killed General Zod, the only person he actually killed in Man of Steel. When he killed the General Zod by snapping his neck, he basically lost it. Okay, he lost it for a good long time. And he was traumatized. Because Superman is adverse to killing. He's also adverse to fighting. Because he's so powerful and so strong, he doesn't really want to fight anyone. And most of the time, if you do watch even Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, he hadn't been fighting. He had been helping people. He only fought in Smallville against General Zod, against Feora, and the big gigantic dude. There were 3 people he fought against, and then he fought against General Zod in Man of Steel. That's it. In Batman v Superman, he fought against Batman. He didn't want to fight Batman. He actually was trying not to fight Batman. And he also fought Doomsday, which is a threat, and he had to kill Doomsday, and he ended up killing Doomsday. So, out of all the movies, he has been in 2 movies, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. Superman has killed basically 1 person. He killed General Zod, who also turned out to be Doomsday. He killed 1 person in 2 movies. So Superman is the least likely to kill. Now, out of the 3, believe it or not, Diana has killed more than Batman and also Superman. Okay, isn't that crazy? Batman has killed some people in Batman v Superman. Killed some people with his car. Who else did he kill? And he killed some people in the warehouse. Alright, scene. He killed some people in the warehouse. Not in it. As he was approaching the warehouse, he shot 2 trucks that were shooting back at him. And he killed some people in a car when he shot the car and exploded. I don't think he killed anybody else. That's about it. I think that's all the people he's killed in all his movies. So, Wonder Woman, she blew through some soldiers and she killed them. She killed Ludendorff, of course. So, she's been doing a lot of killing of late. Okay? But that makes sense because she's stronger than Batman and she's a greater warrior than Batman. She can fight much better than him. She's been fighting for quite a while. And she's faced greater opposition than Batman has. So it's not surprising. And she is literally a warrior. She's an ancient warrior. So Batman's not an ancient warrior. So she is more likely to kill. But she will kill when it needs to be done. And she's merciful enough not to kill people if they're not an immediate threat to her. Okay? If you're an immediate threat to her or mankind, she will kill you. Period. Okay? She will not look for another option. Superman's not the same. He does not look to kill you first. Like with Doomsday, if you notice, Superman didn't go out to kill Doomsday. Okay? The first thing he did, he tried to push him into outer space away from mankind, you know. But Wonder Woman, she wanted to kill Ludendorff from the get-go. Like, she saw Ludendorff was Ares, and she was about to kill his ass. You know what I'm saying? She don't play. She's not like Superman. Superman will give you a chance. She won't give you a chance. She will kill you. Okay? Batman is not about killing. He's about scaring people. Okay? But he does kill. And you know what's the irony of the situation? The guy who really messed this up for us all was Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan came in the movie with, I have this one rule. And people actually believe that Batman, one, he doesn't use guns, and two, he doesn't kill. I heard Kevin Conroy actually say Batman doesn't kill. These are all false statements. Batman does kill. In fact, in the very Dark Knight movie, he killed Harvey Dent. He killed him. Okay? So, and another misnomer is that Batman, being the greatest detective that there is of all time, somehow he cannot be manipulated. He's been manipulated by Catwoman. He's been manipulated by Joker. He's been manipulated by Penguin. Okay? Both in live action films, in animated films, and in the comic books. Okay? So Batman has been manipulated because Batman is a guy that has a couple strings loose. You can't walk around dressed like a bat in the night trying to scare people shitless unless you got a couple strings loose in your head. Okay? So he's got a couple screws loose. So, yes, Batman can be manipulated. Okay? So, these are just some of the things I just want to say. Batman, his symbol is a symbol of fear to all criminals. He wants criminals to shit their pants when they want to do a crime because he's around. He's not really a symbol of hope as much as people want to make him. He puts out that symbol there, or the police department put out the symbol to him to bring him so they can consult with him about certain things. But he's not really a symbol of hope. Okay? Tim Burton was good enough to cross that threshold line and get people to understand what Batman really is about. Okay? Christopher Nolan misconstrued that, unfortunately for him. I knew what he was shooting for. He was not shooting in The Dark Knight. He was not shooting for Batman to be a symbol of hope, and he wasn't shooting for Batman to not kill. It wasn't that Batman doesn't kill. He does kill. In almost every single live action movie he kills. It's that Batman, he was trying to say, had this ideology in his head, but the Joker made him do the opposite of what he stood for. Okay? And so that was the whole point. He was trying to show that the Joker could manipulate Batman. I get what Christopher Nolan was going with. I also get that Christopher Nolan wasn't trying to get Batman to be a beacon of hope in Batman Begins, but he was trying to say that Batman, who's an outlaw, and he made that case at the end of The Dark Knight and in The Dark Knight Rises, he's an outlaw, and therefore he's a criminal, and therefore he should be treated as such, a vigilante, and they shouldn't encourage that. But he's there because the normal channels don't work, right? So that's why Batman works. So I think that's what Christopher Nolan was going for, but it got misconstrued by some people who were fans and saying, oh, he's a beacon of hope. No, Superman's a beacon of hope. Batman's not a beacon of hope. He never was. He never tried to be. He didn't care about that. All right? And even when you listen to Bruce Wayne talk in The Dark Knight as well as Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne doesn't care about being a beacon of hope. He cares about stopping certain people like Ra's al Ghul, the criminals, stopping these people from destroying Gotham, you know. So that's how that story went. That's not really why the Batman was born, but that is what it is. So why I say all of this is because there's a lot of misconceptions about the Batman. There's a lot of misconceptions about Wonder Woman. There's a lot of misconceptions about Superman. I heard people say that Superman, you know, he wasn't a beacon of hope in Batman v Superman. He wasn't in Man of Steel. And he was killing all these people. Superman didn't kill anyone. He didn't kill anyone. And even when General Zod was doing his destruction, it's General Zod who actually killed all of Bruce Wayne's people, first of all. Alright? Second of all, it was General Zod who threw Superman through all those buildings. And from what I see, when Superman was blowing through the buildings, he wasn't hitting anybody. He wasn't hitting people. It seemed as though people were off from work or whatever. Or they came out of the buildings because people had departed from their buildings. So he was just going through empty floors. Okay? And Zod was beating the shit out of Superman. Let's be real here. He knocked him all the way out into outer space. He was beating Superman's ass. But Superman just happened to be, stronger than him because probably he was exposed to sunlight more or something. I don't know. And he was able to, he slammed Zod into that building and smashed his head on the ground and then got him in a headlock. Okay? But Zod was kicking his ass. He grabbed him by his cape and was just flinging his ass around. And then punched him up into space. Zod is a badass, okay? Go watch the movie again. Man of Steel. Awesome stuff. And epic. It was just like the animated cartoons. This is the kind of damage that actually happens if two gods go and fight each other. It's just what it is. Can't avoid it. Alright? But anyway, the point is, Superman saved so many lives. And then Batman v Superman, Superman continued to save lives. He was saving lives all the time. Now people are saying, we wanted to see him smile just like Christopher Reeves and give that warm, fuzzy smile. I'm thinking to myself, no, you didn't see a lot of that in Batman v Superman, but you did see Superman smile when he saved the girl from the building. But again, they were talking more about Superman. So you weren't really seeing a lot of Superman, first of all, in the movie. And second of all, he was a controversial figure, and that's what the media was covering. But of himself and of his life, you saw him and he was cared about Lois Lane and he would be talking about his concerns and he was investigating Batman. And again, Superman wasn't this awkward, wacky kind of Clark Kent like Christopher Reeves portrayed him. And a lot of people get caught up in the Christopher Reeves portrayal of Superman. And there have been so many other portrayals of Superman before Christopher Reeves and after Christopher Reeves. I particularly like the Smallville Superman. He's not a hee-hee-ha-ha guy either. And he wasn't awkward or anything like that. And I thought that Henry Cavill's Superman was more realistic. It's like, that's how you'd carry about yourself. Yeah, you'd wear glasses and stuff, and you wouldn't be as assuming. You wouldn't try to stand out, or be awkward so that people would get your attention. You would get people's attention. So I thought it was really well done. I look forward to Henry Cavill's Superman again in Justice League. And my advice to Josh Whedon and Company Limited is just do you. Just keep doing what you're doing. I really don't care what anybody says. And all the rumors, they're saying, they're going to be 50% reshoots and they're going to redo the story and redo the music. And I know that's all baloney, okay? And I don't know why these haters are here. First of all, these haters don't want to acknowledge that Zack Snyder had a contribution in a big way to Wonder Woman. Most of the action scenes in Wonder Woman, they're saying the last action scenes, pretty much Connie Nielsen admitted that the guy from Zack Snyder's 300 was the guys that were training them. So that's Zack Snyder, pretty much. And then, let's not even talk about the story. We know that's the Zack Snyder story. We know that Patty Jenkins needed help, and she brought Zack Snyder. She asked for Zack Snyder's help. All right. We know that the pictorial representations, as much as there's a company that was doing that pictorial representation, we know that matches up with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. It matches up with Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman pictorial art that Lex Luthor did. It was on Lex Luthor's wall. We know Zack Snyder hooked up Patty Jenkins with all of that stuff. Okay? Yeah, Zack wasn't there to direct the film. He's busy directing Justice League. Zack gave Patty all the help he could possibly give her. And he was like backing her 100%. And that's what it is. Okay? So Zack, like I said, Zack's fingerprints are all up on Wonder Woman. Okay? All up on Wonder Woman. And remember, Wonder Woman is front and center of the Justice League. You go look at Justice League, she's right up in the middle of that. And she's in the front. And the reason? She's a warrior. She's a bigger warrior, a better warrior than everybody on the Justice League. She is the best warrior of the Justice League. So she's going to be front and center leading the Justice League. So yeah, we needed a Wonder Woman movie, and it's doing extraordinarily well at the box office. It's getting all the praises and everything. And guess what? Zack Snyder's all up in that thing. I almost cussed. I almost said all up in that B. You know what I'm saying? But if Zack had his name associated with it, I even remember Zack saying, "Oh yeah, most definitely there's going to be a sequel for Wonder Woman." How does he know there's going to be a sequel? Most definitely. How did Zack know that? Because Zack's the dude writing the story and everything, and he knows what's going on. He knows Wonder Woman needs to work for the Justice League to work. She is the center thread of the thing. I'm telling you, it's brilliant what Warner Brothers been doing. Didn't I call the shots on Wonder Woman? And didn't they do exactly what I said it would have done? That's why Wonder Woman's coming out so great. You know, Patty Jenkins, kudos to her. Don't get it twisted. It's Patty Jenkins that made this. It's Patty Jenkins, baby. But I'm going to tell y'all now, Justice League, Zack Snyder, baby. You know, but this could work out really, really well. This could really work out really, really well with Joss Whedon and Company Limited. Joss Whedon, Danny Elfman, you know, John Berg, and Jeff Johns. They could really make something special here. But it's not going to be by recreating the wheel. Zack Snyder's already done everything. Junkie XL's already done everything. Now it's just smoothing it. Edit it nice. Do your post-production correctly. Make sure that the understanding of what Zack's doing is clear to the audience so they can follow it. That's it. That's all they got to do. I know Whedon knows what he needs to do. I know Elfman knows what they need to do. Alright? They know this movie must not be a laugh fest. It mustn't be like the Avengers. It's not about being funny. Wonder Woman wasn't funny. Right? And so they know from Suicide Squad what works. Okay? Believe you me, they know. And Zack knows too. Okay? I don't know how long Joss Whedon was working with Zack. It's possible that Whedon and Zack have been working on this thing for a while. And that's why Whedon's taking over. Okay? And it's maybe. I don't know. And it looks like Whedon is going to be doing the Batgirl show. So I'm looking forward to that with Elfman. And Elfman's been involved. Anytime you talk about Warner Brothers, Elfman has done an excellent job with anything that Warner Brothers has had him do. And let me make it as simple as possible for you guys to understand what I'm saying. Elfman doesn't have to do but maybe 15 to 25% of the score. I think Junkie XL has done about 75 to 85% of the score already. Okay? If I was Elfman, I would go with that vibe that Junkie XL is doing and elaborate on it. I would just, that little 15%, 25%, I'd just make sure I make it sweet. Alright? Whedon knows that 85 to 95% of the work on Justice League is already done by Zack Snyder. In terms of footage. It's either 15, it's about 15 to 5% more of the work that needs to be done. You think Whedon's going to be all trying to redo the wheel? That would be stupid. So Whedon knows it's about 15 to 5% more of the work to be done. And he also knows the real key here is the editing. How post-production editing works out. What to keep, what to drop. What does Zack want that needs to stay? What does Zack need to drop? Alright? What we need to sacrifice to keep in and what needs to go out. That's the big issue. It's always going to be the post-production editing that's going to be the key to this movie. Because there's going to be tons of footage for this movie. But what's key? What we keep and what we drop. Zack wanted, with his original Batman v Superman, he wanted certain things kept in. Usually the problem with Zack's movies is the stuff that they drop out. What they eliminate. Okay? In this movie, Whedon has to understand the connective tissue. He has to understand what Zack was going for. And Zack always explains himself. So he's going to explain it all over again to Whedon. So that Whedon will be able to keep certain things into the movie and have its connective tissue so it's flushed out well. Whedon going to do that. And I'm telling you, man, I have all the confidence in the world that Joss Whedon will nail this sucker. Okay? He going to nail it. He going to be, even though he's doing only 5 to 15% of the work, it's going to be what really, really hammers home Justice League. It's not about reinventing the wheel, folks. It's about, you got the wheel here now. Now you got to fit it together. And sometimes it's good to have somebody else who understands your vision and then takes it and is able to crystallize it in a way that the audience gets it. So really, Whedon is an asset in the sense that Zack Snyder's done all the work and everything, but Whedon gets to put it together in such a manner that he can actually enhance what Zack's saying and get the message strongly across that Zack really, the essence of what Zack wants to get across, gets across. And what Whedon can do, is he's got this fresh viewpoint, this fresh pair of eyes to look at Zack's stuff and say, okay, well, this is where we need to take this. And so what could happen? This is if these two guys are working well together, and I think they are. Whedon and Zack and Elfman and XL, I think Elfman was to take over the project above Junkie. That's why I think Junkie left. But that quartet could really bring out some wonderful stuff with Justice League. Okay? But they can't afford a clash. They have to be able to work with one another and get something that all of them agree on. See, that's why I was hoping they retain Junkie on this one. But I think Elfman is going to be able to do his thing. He's going to understand and feed off of what Junkie has already put down as a foundation. I don't think Elfman should try and add too much more to it. Anyway, on this note, you guys have a great one.